So you can just record the session. Okay.
So everybody is able to see my screen?
Yes,
Shankar,
madam.
is it okay for you?
Yes, madam, I can do that. No problem for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll continue, we'll start off. So today what we'll try to do is we'll first try to cover the service scenario of C4C, and then we'll take up the UI enhancements. How do we add new fields? How do we change the labels of the fields and all those things? We'll look into it. So these two we'll try to first cover today. Okay. So starting with the service scenario, what does C4C support in a service scenario is it supports install base and service tickets. When I say service ticket, they are nothing else but service requests. Okay. So and it also supports from this February 2016 release, it also supports resource scheduling,
One
like
second.
automatically.
Venkat, 1 second. Service request is nothing but is a ticket. I think there is a
Yes.
quite a bit difference between these two.
These two has a big difference in CRM
Yeah.
standpoint, but
Yeah.
from a C4C standpoint, they are same.
I mean, it's like one object.
It is one single object. You
Okay.
go to tickets view and eventually you create a service request inside that.
Okay.
Okay, because service contract or all those things are not in scope of C4C as of now. So once those things come up, then it will become totally different. But as of now, it is a service request which is under the tickets view.
So it has just a single functionality of service ticket.
Yes, that's it. And inside that service ticket, you have install based concepts and you have SLAs.
Okay.
The service level agreements and all. So these are the limited functionality, but from 2016 February, they have come up with the resource scheduling also.
Okay.
Okay, so first we'll see what components you need to add from the scoping side to bring those things enabled in the system. Okay, we'll start off from there first.
Morning, Venkat. Sorry, so there is no concept of service orders as well.
No, there's no service orders as well.
And the service request will not replicate to ECC, I believe.
If you want, you can have the replication enabled. See, replication from C4C to ECC is purely dependent on what mapping you maintain the ECC in the HCI system. Okay, but as of now, what functionality is there is from a service request as a follow-up document, you can create a lead or an opportunity or a sales quote. That is what you can create from a service request as of now. Sales orders are expected in May 2016 release. The coming release of May, we are expecting sales orders also. Sorry, service orders. I'm sorry, service orders.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go to scoping. I'll first show you what your components you need to enable. So this service is this main thing that you need to enable if you want service scenario also available in C4C. Okay, this is the first thing. Now inside this, if you go, see what you have is knowledge base. Now what is knowledge bases? It is not that C4C is having inbuilt knowledge base system. It is that only when you scope this element, you will be able to integrate any KB system or third party KB system or SAP Mindtouch system to C4C. If you don't check this checkbox, then you will not be able to integrate a KV system from where you can read the standard solutions or articles. Okay, and this is what we are talking about, the service request management. Complaint management is nothing else but you can search for the ECC sales orders or purchase orders or customers who have some business done in ECC. those details you can search in C4C, and with respect to that search, you can create service requests. I'll show you that functionality inside. Service and repair is again the same service request, and communication is for what kind of communication you want to have with your customers, whether you want to send an email or you want to send an SMS or you want to send a push mail. So all that you will have in this particular scope element. Okay, now if we go further inside this, just one second. I hope you are able to see my screen. I have just highlighted one item, one functionality, resource scheduler. So this is a new thing that has got added in this release, and this only will help us to have the resource scheduling. But the mandate criteria for this is a third-party system should be connected, backend ERP. It could be SAP ECC system or any other system from where you are going to bring in the this thing, what you call the resource scheduling concept. That integration should be there. So that is a mandatory criteria.
This is what you were
Okay.
discussing last time about MRS.
Yes, this is that MRS, correct. Now, this is for MRS, and then I'll show you how to activate the install based component. See, registered products and install base. So these two things you need to scope over here, and only then this functionality will be available for the users. Now we'll move next to the questions, and for MRS I'll show you there is two questions that you need to select upon.
You meant to say the services is finished?
No. We have just started.
Yeah.
I'm just showing you what changes you have to do in scoping to activate your services scenario. Okay, so in this it says, do you want to use C4C inbuilt resource scheduler or you want to integrate with MRS? So based on your business functionality that you discuss with your client, if you want SAP ECC scheduling to be available, or you want C4C's inbuilt resource scheduling. Now C4C's inbuilt scheduling is based upon organization job distributions and ticket routing rules, which we'll see in today's class.
What is the
Okay.
difference between these two?
Ticket routing rules is if you want to route the tickets based on a particular territory, whereas organizational distribution rules is based on the customer ID or based on the account ID or based on the team from which you want to route it through. I'll show the differences in detail when we see them. See when you actually get into that.
Difference between this MRS and the C4C resource schedule.
MRS is a third-party system. It could be SAP ECC resource scheduling, or it could be any vendor-based ECC resource scheduling. You want to have that resource scheduling, or do you want C4C's inbuilt resource scheduling? What is that you want?
No, here
Some client
both of them have been ticked.
No, I have checked it yesterday only. I just wanted to see how it works because this is very new. This resource scheduling got activated only probably 1 month back in C4C. So I am looking into that.
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, even though you checkbox it, we can't do anything because this is a standalone system. Your MRS is not integrated in the backend. Okay, so this changes you need to do first in this scoping part. Okay, and once that is done, you need to activate the views for install base and all in the business roles. I hope you remember we covered a class wherein we told how to activate different views with write restrictions, you read restrictions and all for a particular business role, right? So in that level, you need to activate the install base view, and only then you'll be able to see this particular view called as install base. If you don't activate the view for the particular business roles, then you will not be able to see them even though you have done the scoping. So this is a mandate that you have to do. So which role you want the install base to be visible, you need to activate that. Okay, so now we'll see what are the basic configuration available in service scenario, and then we'll go further in depth of it. Ram, I just recollected now the information that you asked for. I just missed it out. So after this class, I'll send the details to you. So these are the basic configuration settings that are there from service ticket perspective or service request perspective. Okay. First thing is you maintain the document types. When I say maintain document types, what is the Z version of the service request or whatever you want to create? So for example, this is the standard that SAP offers, service requests. Okay. But so many Z versions have been created. Work order, return, repair, and all these things are nothing else but a copy of this service request only. Okay. Now, once you create a version of this document type, you need to tell what is the process variant, whether it's a customer way support or it's an employee support. And then you will say what is the status schema that you have. We have status profiles in CRM, right? Like that, you would have maintained a custom status profile and assign that status profile to this particular transaction type. Okay, and this column we leave it generally blank because I'm not sure what it is. And then requires work is one important flag. Only with this option you can have the scheduling enabled for the transaction type. Okay, only when you checkbox this checkbox requires work, only then you will be able to activate the scheduling for that particular transaction type. Now, what is the status schema? I'll show you next.
Venkat, okay, 1 second, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Can you go back to the same service request? These are the service request which has been created just for practice or something you're showing
Yes,
from your life.
it has been created for practice purpose. They're nothing else but Z versions.
Okay, okay. So somebody has created by name work order. Like, can we use as a work order for that?
It is not the actual work order, it's nothing else but a framework of service request only. They have created work order maybe to showcase some demo or some solution purpose. Work order concept does not exist in C4C. It's only a service request that exists in C4C.
So basically, work order is having lot of enhanced features. So the service
No,
request.
no,
Yeah.
don't try to correlate the word with the CRM on-premise technology.
Okay.
That is not at all the case here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, it is only a simple service request. Please understand, it's a simple service request, nothing else. Now, here it says maintain status dictionary entries. It is something like having our status profiles. You define different statuses and then you assign them to a particular status profile, right? So, like that, it is just about adding some statuses and what is the this thing, description, all those things. Now, this status entries that you maintain here would be added to this particular status schema. It is just like a conventional status profile of CRM. You have one initial, this is the only schema that is maintained here. And what are the different statuses that you want? What is the life cycle status, whether it is open or in process or completed? And what is the assignment status, initial status, and what is the status visible? Okay, so
We don't
these are,
have authorization, like on-premise, how we have authorization codes and status. We don't have that yet.
no, we don't have that. We have our authorization codes and status profile in CRM, but that is not there here. That is not there here.
Okay.
This status profile that you defined here is assigned to that particular document type that we saw in the first configuration screen. Okay, and then maintain involved parties is same like what we saw for the sales transaction types. What are the different number ranges that you want? Now, this is one important concept: maintain item processing codes. Now, in CRM, we have this item category determination and all, right? It is very similar to that. In ECC, if you maintain a particular item category that you want in C4C also, then you define them over here. You, whatever item categories have been defined in ECC, those things you have to define here, and then they will be available at the product level in C4C also. If you are not maintaining an item category here, and if the product is downloaded from ECC to C4C, then the product will not be downloaded. It will error out saying that item categories are missing in the code list mapping.
So where do
This
you map
item
exactly then?
sorry?
Where do you map? I mean, you have defined your item categories here, and you have
Yes.
downloaded the item categories from ECC. So how does it
Okay.
really system knows that which is what? I mean, where do you
See,
map?
you do not download the item categories from ECC. Whatever item categories are there in ECC, you manually maintain them in C4C.
Okay.
And in codeless mapping, you do the manual mapping between the ECC item categories and C4C item categories. Do you remember we saw codeless mapping as a fine-tune activity in C4C?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do that mapping in that particular codeless mapping.
Can you go to that screen, Venkat, if you don't mind for a sec, just to see the mapping?
For showing that mapping, even I need to search which adapter object it is, because I have not done that mapping. I've just created some item categories here. I've not yet done the mapping. Anyways, we'll go there. We'll see if we can search it out. This is the codeless mapping view that where we do this mapping. Do you remember seeing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, this activity is not added in the project. Let me add it first to the project. So our mapping group will be SAP on-premise integration, and over here in the list of objects, we need to search which one is the fight for the item category group. Anyway, so you have to search in this list, pick up the respective item category object for mapping, and then do the mapping. Okay, let's not go into searching objects now. We'll first continue on our class. I'll close this window.
Yeah. And if you want to maintain user want to maintain free text, is there any option there?
Text, like what? You want to add some free text in the service request, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a notes block. I'll open service request and show that to you. You have a notes block where you can enter what the free text you want to enter.
Muted.
C4.
Muted.
Am I only getting the beep sounds, or everybody is getting some beep sounds? Not sure. Okay, fine. We'll proceed. Okay, so these are the basic configurations that are there for a service ticket or a service request. Okay, now before we create a service request, we'll see something called as install base, and we'll see something called as maintenance plans. These two are important concepts in C4C. See, in scoping, I have activated install base. Now, how do I get this install base directly in the screen? Will I directly get it straight away?
You need to add in the project.
My scoping is done in the project only. Okay. And how can I get this install base view?
Unmuted.
I guess it will be available directly in the service request because it's only one object.
No. You need to see, it is the install base that you're seeing in my screen now. That is a separate work center itself, right? Work centers will not be by default visible. even though you do scoping and all, it will not be by default visible. You need to enhance that business role and make this work center visible. Do you want me to show that, or it's fine, we can continue? Or do you want me to show that to you?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, please show.
Oh, okay, I'll show that. Just give me 1 minute then. I'm going to administrator and I'm opening the business roles. Okay, see my scoping solution, I have activated install base. Okay, now I say I want it to be visible for service manager. Then I click the service manager role and I click on edit. I go to work centers and view assignments. Now these are all the work centers that are there. In this, I have to search for install base. See, this is that authorization object. So even though I have scoped my install base to be visible or to be available in the c4c functionality, if I do not do a checkbox for this, then I will not be able to see install base work center. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Only when I do, suppose now uncheck this checkbox, then I log off and log in, then moment I will not be able to see install base work center. So if tomorrow, even not only install base for that matter, any functionality, if you have included in scoping and you are surprised to know that it is not visible in the screen, then this is a mandate step that is missing. Go to the business roles, select the particular business role or the business role to which you want to add it, go to edit and highlight the checkbox for that particular functionality. Otherwise, it will not be visible. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
So now we go back to our install base concept. Suppose I want to create a new install base. What all information you need to give is the name of the install base and the customer for whom you are creating this install base, and who's the employer responsible and who's the service technician. This is the basic information that you enter in the install base and you click on save and open. Okay, so let's open one existing install base that is there. See, these are this is the install base that is there, and what are the different items that are there in this install base? It will show that. So for this install base, there are no items added up as of now. And who's the involved parties for this install base? It will display all those details. Who's the customer? Who's the employer responsible? Or who's the service technician? Those details will be displayed here. And this install base is used in what all tickets. You can see that also. Suppose this install base has been selected on a ticket, say some ABC ticket, then the ticket details will be displayed here. Okay. So if you want to attach any images kind of thing for the install base, you can do that, and it is the same like an hierarchy build structure. Okay, you want to add registered products, text elements, then products, all that you can add to this install base. Okay, now this is where you create an install base, and this is what is used in your service ticket. So now when you're associating an install base for a particular customer ID and you go ahead and create a service ticket with that customer ID, automatically this install base will get picked up to the service request. Okay.
And there is a, hi Venkat, there is a contracts here, a tab there.
Sorry.
There is a tab called contracts.
That contracts tab has just been added because the the service orders and service contracts field are likely to get enabled by May 2016. That is still dummy. There's nothing happening in that.
Okay. And there is something called serial number concept.
You mean to the counters concept?
Serial numbers.
What do you mean by serial number?
Like
The install
you identifying something for this, for say for example this IC or something.
just a second, got logged off. Just 1 minute. Yeah, please tell me. You're saying something? Serial
Yes,
numbers.
serial number as in to uniquely identify that AC in that example.
You need to identify the
AC in this example.
that is the product ID of the product, right?
Yes, but behind this, to uniquely identify which the particular AC, you'll have a serial number concept, right?
No. That's you mean to say the particular object ID kind of.
Not object ID.
But there's nothing like serial ID at least. I have not come across like that anything here. Probably we can try adding few items and check. Okay, there is a serial ID here. Wait, let us try to add some items and see. Suppose you want to add a product.
Serial ID and also warranties. Do you have concept of warranties?
Yeah, warranty concept is there, yes.
Okay.
See, if you add a particular product like this is the information that gets captured. Which location or wherever that product is located and who are the involved parties and what is the warranty information for that product. But not sure, serial number is not coming. I'll check this and I'll come back to you. Okay. This one serial ID, I'll just check and I'll let you know by tomorrow what it is. Now this is the install base and I'll show you a service scenario. You will see a service request inside a ticket view. See, for example, I have tickets and it is nothing else but a service request that is there inside. So this is the view of a service request that we create in C4C. It has the customer details, the timelines, the interactions that you have. If you want to send an email to the customer, you can send an email here. This solution finder is for the KB's knowledge base system. And for which product you're creating a service request, you enter the product details. If there's any warranty for the product, the warranty would automatically get populated here. And what is the category of service request? This category of service request, I'll show you. We'll see that in for the next few minutes. Okay, and this block that is on the top is the header level data. Okay, this initial review date and the completion date are determined by the SLA, service level agreements for assigned for this particular priority. And how is this team 1 level 1 support queue getting identified? It is based on the ticket routing rules. I'll show you those ticket routing rules also. And then this particular service ticket, once it is created, will be in the general queue and You want it to get assigned to yourself or to any particular agent or a team, you can do that. You want to escalate it, you can also escalate it. You can set as irrelevant all this functionality of approvals, follow up. So as I told, the follow up for a service request is to create another ticket or a sales quote or an opportunity or a lead. And then if you want to finish the work and mark the ticket as completed, you can do that. Now over here in the service and repairs tab, this is where you will see the technician details.
Where is the workflow?
Workflow, you will not be seeing it here. We'll have this workflow activations done, which I'll show you. Workflows will not be directly visible on the C4C on the service request screen.
Okay.
So if you want to add any free text, you can add it here. If the customer wants to say any particular details about this particular product, then those details can be added. As an agent, if you want to share any internal information, you can add that also. Okay, this is the technician window where all the technician details will be available.
So where is
That where
the schedule?
configuring this?
Sorry, please come again.
Sorry, Mohammed, go ahead.
Where are they configuring this dates, request start date, end date, and initial review date?
I'll show you. I am yet to show you the service level agreements that we have to configure. How do we configure the maintenance plans? I'll show both of them to you next. I'm yet to come to there.
Okay, Venkat,
Okay.
where is the schedule, resource schedule is coming in? How does it really look like when I'm trying to select either service technicians or service team?
See, coming to the assignment of the technician to the service ticket, we do it either through the ticket routing rules or through the organizational job distribution. Okay, but when you talk about the resource scheduler based on the skills of the resource and based on the availability of the resource, assign the technician automatically.
Yeah.
That even I have not yet explored. That is very new in the c4c system. We don't even have any proper documentation for that. So I'm also looking for that. I'll try if I can get some documentation. I'll share with you people.
Okay.
Okay, I have not even looked into it. Resource scheduler is so new that even I have not looked into that functionality still.
What about the pricing
Yeah.
here, Venkat?
Is not there in C4C service request as of now. This service request should be integrated to the ECC system and billing should happen in ECC only.
Okay.
The billing engine is not yet active in a C4C standalone system, at least for a service scenario.
Okay. And say during the service, if they use some spare parts or those kinds of things.
Right. Those details and all you can add it over here in the order accessories, and then the service request has to go to ECC, and from there onwards only the billing for those spare parts or billing for the services rendered to the customer, all those things should happen. It doesn't support all that in C4C as of now.
Right.
How does it really work in terms of integration?
Once the service request is generated, it goes to ECC,
Yeah.
and in ECC, a same service request gets generated, and for that you have the billing.
Okay.
So whatever the products or whatever services that you have added to the service request or whatever spare parts that you have replaced at the customer side, all those details should be entered in the service or service request, and it would be updated to ECC through application, and the billing would happen for those details.
Is there any
Okay.
sort of a configuration that needs to be done to get this end to end?
In ECC, as usual, you have to do lots of configuration.
Yeah.
But from C4C to ECC replication, you need to do the mapping in HCI.
Okay.
My service request is, say, for example, I say ABC client, my client is ABC. So I say ABC service request. So this ABC service request is getting replicated, and what should get created in ECC? the standard service request, or you want to maintain a Z service request in ECC. So that particular mapping should be done in HCI system. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Once the service request is getting replicated to ECC via SCI,
Okay.
do we called in ECC also as a service request, or we have some other calling?
That is pure. See, C4C supports you to integrate your C4C service request to ECC service request directly. But if you want any different name, or if you wanted to get assigned to an activity or anything like that, then it is your call. As per the business need, you can do the mapping.
And there is one tab here, activities. What exactly mean by that? Besides service and repair?
Yeah, in this activity, what it says is, if you have assigned any task, say for example, the technician has to go to the site and see, so he will create a task for himself here. Or if he has done any phone call to the customer, so all those details will be updated here. It is a kind of interactions that you have with the customer.
We get when the service request is getting replicated to ECC, then is there any reference number will be coming back to C4?
Yes. You would have the external ID field coming back to the C4C system. For the same service request, in the header view that you're seeing, the one which is in the gray color, over there will be an additional field getting added up called as external ID. And that external ID would contain the ECC service request number.
Will that be in a form of hyperlink or just
it will just be a number. It will just be a number. Now in C4C, you might have checked a few customers or products that we downloaded from ECC to C4C. In that, you have the external ID field. They are not hyperlinks. They are just a number which will give you a reference mapping. That's it. Okay. Okay.
get surveys? Surveys, what exactly?
Services, if you want to, the service request, you want to assign a service so that you want to take a feedback from the client, then you define a separate survey and assign that survey to the service request. And what happens is, when you send an email to the particular client about the details of the service request, he can also, or you have a call with the customer after the service request is completed, take the survey questions, ask him, and update the survey. It's just for the analytics purpose. How was the service request resolved? Was it in timely done? Were there any escalation? So all those details you can create as a question and assign to the survey.
Hey, can you see that evaluation part?
What evaluation path?
The survey evaluations.
No, those things are not configured in the system. I can see if we have this at least service assigned here, but the evaluation based on survey details, this system is not configured.
That's what we need at the end of the day, isn't it?
Right, but this system is not configured.
Okay.
You, as per the authorizations that you have for the C4C system, you can create your own surveys. You can try doing that.
Yeah,
With
I
your
can
login
see
ID
that. But
password,
I
you
don't
can create
see the
surveys.
services here, Venkat.
Service that Workcenter itself is not there.
No, I mean on the tab on the top, whatever the activities that we are supposed to be looking at it. When
You
I
mean to
logged
say
in,
one
yeah,
second.
like marketing,
You mean,
sales.
okay, this you are not seeing, is it?
No.
Okay, fine. I'll ask him to add it. I think that is removed by mistake for the user ID. I'll just ask him to add it again for you. Soon after this class, I'll ask him to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Just give me 1 minute, huh? Okay, next we'll see the maintenance plans. That is very important. I'll just show that to you. Give me a minute. Okay, before I forget, I want to show you one screen. You're seeing here something called as ECC search. Please see my screen now. You're seeing something called as ECC search. Are you able to see that?
Yeah.
What this work center that is added now is also very new to the C4C system, wherein you can see all the ECC related sales orders for a particular customer or for a particular product ID, and for that reference you can create a service request. This was not there till previous release. That has been just added now. Okay, so
Why
you can
this is
see.
as center, Venkat? It is not embedded in the service request like how we have business context type in service request.
No. Like that, it's not there. They're coming up with their functionality. They're growing now. This ECC search is a new work center that has been created, wherein all the ECC related sales orders or the purchase order IDs, all those things you can search from a C4C system. Say, for example, if a customer calls and says that I have purchased a product, I don't declare the product, the order ID and all, and I want a service technician to visit my place, then you can come to this screen and search for the order placed by that customer. And you can give that reference order number in the notes section of the service request.
Venkat, how this is doing backend? Like what exactly it's happening when they do this ECC search? What exactly it's happening at the backend?
In the backend, what happens is when you initiate, first of all, your C4C system should be integrated on ECC system. Okay, and then once you have this integration done for all those customers and products which have been downloaded from ECC to C4C, the orders that have been placed on those customers or on those products, those order details will be generated here.
Okay.
Say there is a scenario that a particular customer is not there in C4C, he is there only in ECC. Then that particular customer's order details will not get displayed in this work center. Only the work centers, only the orders of those customers who have been downloaded from ECC to C4C. Only for those customers, the customer order details will be generated here.
Will that be a direct call? It is sync call, or it is directly? It is basically storing the information or something like that.
It is a sync call. The moment you open the CCC search field, automatically a request is generated from C4C, and it will go to ECC, bring all the details of the orders and display here. There is no search button or go button wherein you initiate the search. The moment you click on ECC search, the details will get generated. But at the same time, it is not that it is storing the ECC order details in C4C. It is a synchronous call or a SOAP call wherein every time it goes to ECC, reads the data and brings it here.
How do we create a service request from here? Once you selected a sales order here, you need to select
Okay.
it and just go as a follow-up document to create a service request?
No. It is only that you note down the customer, the sales order ID or the purchase order ID,
Yeah.
then go to request window and enter the ID number manually in the notes section.
Well, yeah.
Probably 2 weeks back.
But what is the use of that ECC search, Venkat? Because
Yes.
the activity which you're saying, he can have parallel another ECC session open and he can search.
Correct. 2 weeks back only, when we had a call with SAP support team on asking when they were explaining all the latest release functionalities of C4C, This was a question in me as and what's the use of giving this work center in the first place? Actually, the development roadmap is that the orders that will get generated here or will be displayed here, those sales orders will be a hyperlink. The sales order number would be coming up as a hyperlink. The moment you click that particular sales order, the ECC order details will be displayed in C4C, and you can create a service request as a follow-up of that document.
Just now
That
I asked you like it will be in the form of server hyperlink. You told no. You told.
I am coming to that. I'm coming to that. So this is the roadmap that is coming up in the coming release. So as of now, the work centers have been added, and that hyperlink and creation of a follow-up document activities are coming in May 2016 release.
Okay. Okay.
It is just a kind of pilot or a beta version that has been launched here. The same question that you asked me was what even we asked SAP when we had that session. So what they said is it is just a pilot that has been launched. The sales orders that will be generated here will be with a hyperlink. You click on the hyperlink and open the sales order, and from there, as a create follow-up document, you can create a service request.
So that service request will be sitting in ECC, not in C4C.
No, that service request will be in C4C only.
No, but you are launching the hyperlink. If you launch that hyperlink, that ECC session will be opened. That's
No, if you launch the hyperlink, you are not going to open the ECC GUI in C4C. You are going to open a pop-up window within C4C, which is going to bring in the ECC details.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
You will not see like transaction launcher, ECC ka GUI screen is displayed here. No, that is not going to happen.
It is very similar to the
Because
shared services framework of the SAP CRM.
exactly. Because see, your ECC system is going to lie in a client network, and cloud is not going to be in client network. So in any case, you cannot bring in the GUI screen and just get displayed here. You are going to read the details of the ECC order, map it in a view, and display that as a pop-up window. From that, as a follow-up document, you can create a service request.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah, Venkat.
Venkat,
next
do
we'll
we
see
have
the-
any kind of a documents that is like a future releases, what the functionalities will be included in the future releases document and stuff like that within the roadmap of SAP CRM?
I have one document, but the thing is that document was shared to my company from SAP. My DU head has shared it to all the people. I am not really sure because that has my company logo, name, and all those details. I'm not really sure if such documents can be shared directly. But what I'll try to do is I'll copy paste the contents to a Word document and try to send that to you.
Okay, good.
Till 2016 November, whatever is there in the roadmap of SAP C4C, that details are there in the document. I'll copy paste in a Word document. I'll try to send that to you. I'm not sure if it is a copy protected or not. I'll just check. If it is, I'll definitely send it to you.
Well, I mean, the release document should not be a copy protected anyway, I believe.
Not release document. The future release document, which SAP had shared only to Infosys with the Infosys logo and all that stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll move on. I want to show you one important thing called as maintenance plan. First, let's see that. So under install base, do you see something called as maintenance plan? I've just opened that window now. You're able to see this maintenance plan?
Yes.
This is very similar to put it in layman terms, it is similar to scheduling a batch job. It is very similar to scheduling a batch job. That is what is the purpose of this maintenance plan. Or rather, I'll show you by creating a new one.
I think first time Venkat is creating something.
I'm not trying to create something, I'm just trying to show you. I'm not going to save this in any case.
Just to...
So you want to have what kind, whether you want to have it on fixed values, or it's a one time, or it's a cyclical, or it is without any conditions blindly getting executed, or it is absolute. So what are the different conditions on which you want to create a maintenance plan? So that is what you define, and you create a maintenance plan. Now what is the
More like a
purpose of
service
this
contract
maintenance?
plans?
Sorry.
More like a service contract plans?
Yes, more like service contract plans. It is very similar to that. What happens is you create a maintenance plan for a particular install base, and say on a cyclic, say every 3 months. Then automatically every three months, when the condition of the 3 months time frame is met, automatically a service request for that install base will get created. Okay, it is on those lines.
Sorry, can you have it some business case or business scenario?
Business scenario, say for example, just to put an example, I have a Pepsi outlet in my place, okay, and I have some equipments installed. I'll call up the customer care, or I'll call up the company and say I want to have a plan of it's like an AMC contract, annual maintenance contract. Okay, I'll call
Service
them and I'll
contract.
say I want every three months, or every six months, I want all my equipment to be serviced. So what happens is, the people at the back end, or the company people, create a maintenance plan for my particular account with the details of what are the maintenance items that have to be done. And I'll say cyclical, and what's the period of the cycle, 3 months or 6 months, on those lines. So once I do that, automatically every 3 months or 6 months, based on the condition getting satisfied, a service request gets created automatically. It gets assigned to a technician, and the technician would come to the site and do the maintenance of the objects.
This is
So those are
within the warranty period or outside the warranty period as well, and the billing is also included.
Yes, no, billing and all is not included. Just one second. Yeah, the billing and all is not included. It is only the service request creation. So in service request, again, you have the warranty information in place. Billing, it has to go to ECC only.
So all those configurations needs to be done, Venkat, for that scheduling, doing all the stuff.
See, ECC billing, you need to mandatorily do the configuration. Okay, the data replication from C4C to ECC can be done on the fly in the HCI system. Okay.
Yeah.
More like a what you call automobile industry.
It is AMC. It's just, you can say it as an AMC contract. As simple as that. Say I have an AquaGuard water purifier in my house. I sign an AMC contract for 18 months, saying every three months I want a servicing of my AquaGuard. So automatically service request get generated. The technician would come home, or he will do the servicing, and then the billing will go to ECC. It is on those lines.
Yeah. It was implemented in Jaguar. Same thing.
Okay. Okay, so there are various details, like what is the cycle type, whether you want it as cyclical or one time with some conditions. So all those details you need to enter and create a maintenance plan here. Okay. And what are the condition groups you want to add? There are no condition groups defined in the system itself. So you need to first define some condition groups, create them, and then you can add those conditions. One second now. What is report instant? Let me close and open again. There's some error coming up, but otherwise you have to define what are the conditions on which this maintenance plan should execute. say what, three months, or on one time basis and all, that condition grouping you define over here. I don't know, so I'm getting some error here, but otherwise you can also try a little later. It's giving some error.
Maybe you can log off and log in here.
I'm trying that.
Maybe
I'm
create a
still getting
new
same
one.
error. Probably you can try after some time on this if it works out.
No, try to
So
create
this
from
is
your
the
new plan.
okay. So these are the three schedule conditions, whether it's a counter based or time and counter, or it is a time based. So if it's counter based, some threshold value you enter, and based on the threshold value, the condition should get satisfied. Otherwise, it is on time based, say 3 weeks or 3 months or 6 weeks or whatever it is, like that. So let's assume I take a time base. I come to the plan definition, and then again I try to add group.
Same issue.
No, same issue. Probably you can try after some time. You should be getting it. Okay. So here in the ticket template, you define here what template you want to use for creation of a service request. But for that, you should have already defined that particular template type. You remember in service scenario, you saw the document type, service request, and various transaction types. So what is that you want to create? You can enter those details here, and what is the subject for the template, or what is the subject that you want to give for the particular service request. You can give those details, and this is one important checkbox: prevent creating multiple tickets. Say for example, this plan is for 1 year, and every three months a service request should get created. So every time you should not keep on for the moment first 3 months tenure is over, it should not create multiple duplicate tickets for the same plan. So you do a checkbox over here, in which case you will not be creating multiple service requests for the same plan. Okay. And then what are the maintenance items? You can add the install base, or you can have whatever product details you want to add. You can add all those details here, and based on that condition, as and when they get satisfied, this maintenance plan will be creating the associated objects. This is another way by which you can have service requests created in the C4C system, unlike the call center people creating it manually one by one.
The ticket template
Okay.
is having a separate document type for the template, or standard one that
No,
normally we create a service request.
you remember in today's section, we saw maintain document types in that
Yeah,
fine-tune activities, right?
yeah,
So that code you have to enter here.
that's right.
Whatever
But
you,
there will
what is
be
it
a
that you want?
separate document type for the template?
Sorry, please come again.
There will be a separate document type for the template.
No,
Normally,
no,
we
no,
have
no,
a
no.
standard one, which is Z to create a service request. Yeah.
Yes, that only will enter here. There's no separate template for this.
Okay, like normally we have like a template predefined values that normally goes along with that, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. You can also have the subjects appended from this maintenance plan. You can also have the products for which you want to have the service request created. All those details should fill here. And accordingly, on system generated way, the service request or the complaint or whatever you define in your C4C system,
So
you can have them created.
we cannot maintain the SLAs here.
SLAs I'm showing. SLAs will be coming automatically in the service request based on the priority of the SLA, priority of the ticket.
Okay, not based on the template or not based on the.
No, not based on the plan.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I'll show you the service SLAs. Where do you define them? Under the Administrator Work Center, you have one view called as Service and Social. You're able to see that? I have not clicked that still. Service and Social.
Yes, Venkat.
Over here, inside this, you will be able to create the SLAs. SLA setup, and inside that you have service levels. I've just opened that. So you first define a service profile for you or a service level for you. Say for example, this one, Cloud for Service SLA. I choose this and I go for edit, and you can see all the response and the resolution details. This is basic general information. And then we go to reaction times. Please see this. Due date for initial review. So for this particular time or this particular parameter, what should be the values? Based on the priority, it is this much is the response time, initial review response. Okay. Similarly, you have due date for completion. For immediate means 12 hours, for urgent 24 hours, like that you define what are the values that you want. Now, in our normal CRM system, we make use of the factory calendar to calculate the expected closure time, right? Or the completion time. Over here, you have something called as operating hours. It also uses a working day calendar. If you remember, I've shown this to you in one of the classes. The way we have factory calendar, you have working day calendar. So based on that, you are working on which days and from what time to what time. So based on this operating hours and based on this reaction times, the response, the completion and all these things will get automatically calculated and get updated in the service request. In the service request, at the header level, you see these details: due date for completion, due date for initial review, customer response due date. All those values, from where are they getting picked up? They come to the service level agreements, and for what is the priority of the ticket, accordingly they note down the labor time, and based on the operating hours of the particular company, from that you go ahead and assign the due completion dates. So this is your SLAs that you define for the service tickets or service request in C4C.
Venkat, where are we saying here? This is for service request, where we are defining it?
You are not defining that anywhere. You are just defining that. I'll show you. You are just saying Cloud for Service SLA. This is the ID that you have used. Okay. But system will map it to the service request and it will pick it up. The values like if you have defined say multiple profiles, and that multiple profiles, which profile should get picked up for the service request, I am just checking for that. I don't recollect exactly where I've done the configuration, I'll show that one mapping to you tomorrow. I'll figure it out tonight and show that to you.
This activity is by C4C consultant, right? It's
Yes,
not done
yes.
by
It is with no, it is with c4c consultants only. We have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any
That one thing I'll check and let you know.
this SLS?
Sorry.
Any kind of
Sorry, sir.
sorry, any kind of actions that you can define on the is SLS based on the priority and the date?
No. That level of growth has not yet come. It will just tell you the due completion date and all those things.
So how
But
that gets linked to the workflow in terms of notification and stuff like that? Where is the link between these SLAs and the work?
you can have a notification when your completion date is complete. Due completion date is over. An automatic escalation mail will go to the technician saying that this ticket has got completed its completion
the
hours
mail
and all.
goes based on some kind of a configuration, I believe, like we have in service.
Yeah, that workflow notifications we'll see tomorrow. Today, once we complete the service and once we complete the UI enhancements, that workflow notifications I'll show you tomorrow.
Where that gets linked to the service request?
I couldn't get your question. You mean the notification getting linked to service request, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that with that entire notification scenario, we'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing I'll try to show from my side, if I have multiple SLA profiles, how do I map the SLA profile to the service request type? I'll just check that and I'll show that also tomorrow. Okay. Is it fine? Shall we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. No response. I thought maybe we want to close the class.
No closing the class. We got another 3 hours to go.
3 hours to go. No, not 3 hours. We'll spend now a half an hour first and then tomorrow we'll take up the rest of the things. Okay. क्या हुआ? Weekend all are in a sleepy mood or what?
No, we are active, Venkat. I think I'm not sure about you, but we are active.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not getting the normal response like how I get that. Is I'm getting this doubt.
I think
shall
the
we
study-
continue?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so shall we move on to the UI enhancements? That is one
So as far as
one
you're
important
concerned for the
thing.
service request, everything has been covered?
The basic things like install base, the maintenance plans, the SLAs, and the service document configuration are covered.
And approval?
Rest we need to approvals will be in the notifications workflows only.
Okay.
We'll see that tomorrow. So apart from this, exploring every individual tab, every field that is there, I would suggest please do that. Read the admin guide and you can get a lot more information on these things.
But at least we need to have that tab which is not available to when you log in, isn't it? As a just to create a service request. So
I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it soon. I'm going to ask the guy to add it soon after this class.
okay. And
Your
also,
login ID is US Sales Rep 04, right?
yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'll tell him right away before I forget. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Prakash. Busy? Can we talk for 2 minutes? Yeah. Prakash, need one small help from you. Yeah. For that US Sales Rep 04 ID that you gave me, the service work centers are not activated. I think you need to activate it from the business roles. Yeah, Prakash, that is needed. No, I told you, no, I need for sales and service and marketing. I need for all the three. Okay. So when can you activate that? 2 days, sir. Please, that will be too late. Ask anyone from your office, Prakash. That is needed urgently, actually. At least by tonight, I want it. At least. Yeah, by tonight. Sure, right? Because I'm committing that. Okay, yeah. So complete service work center and install based work center. These two things. Please, Prakash. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, guys, that will be active by tonight. India time tonight means probably for you by afternoon 3 p.m. or so, that should be visible.
And also the service categories, Venkat, I don't think you have covered, but how does it really work?
Service categories is it works only for the analytics purpose. I have not covered that. You can explore for yourself. It is
I mean,
just for
well, I mean, we have
analytics
like
purpose.
a category modeler or whatever we have in CRM.
No, 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 no. It is based on the type of service category. You
Mm,
have a field service category in the service request.
mm,
You select a value from the drop down,
mm,
and then you have a analytics like for what kind of service, I mean, for what category of service more number of tickets are flowing in,
mm.
what are the SLA breaches. There's some custom reports built on that.
I
So
mean,
it is purely
while
for analytics purpose.
yeah, while creating, don't we have any kind of a categories that we can select?
While creating a service request,
Yeah.
yes, you have. You can check that you have. When you go, once this work center is active for you, you
Mm,
go into the service request, that is a service tickets view,
mm.
create a service request, explore every view that you, every field that you have. You have service category also as one of the fields there.
So we can have only one category assigned to one service request. We
One
cannot have
service
more than
request,
one.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the UI enhancements. See, in UI enhancements, there are two things. One is called personalize and one is called adapt. You're able to see two things, right?
Yes.
This adapt link will not be seen from HTML view. It will be seen only from a Silverlight view. Okay, I'll just go to some particular view and I'll try to show you the details. Say, for example, I go to say customers, where are the customers? Say, for example, I just open some customers view.
Sorry, Venkat,
Okay.
to jump you again
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Would you mind showing the how to create the service categories, the configuration part?
See, those things, it can be little bit explored. That's not a problem. Let me first cover the UI enhancements. This is more
Which is,
important.
I
We
understand
have
that.
we have to cover because see, we have to cover service requests and UI enhancements today. Only then we'll be able to take up workflow notifications tomorrow.
Mhm.
You check it out. If you have any questions, we'll discuss that tomorrow class without fail.
Okay.
Okay. So over here, there are two things. One, personalize and one is adapt. Personalize, you will see mainly from HTML client and adapt, you will see mainly from the HTML Silverlight client. What is the difference between these two things when you want to do an enhancement or UI changes is, let's go to personalize screen. You want to do personalization to this screen, which means it will be applicable only to your user ID. It will not be applicable to the larger community. Okay. Next one is my settings. So what is the date formats and all? If you want to change any passwords, what do you want to have an on-screen help? So all that details of basic setting you can do here. That is, am I there or lost?
You're here.
No, no.
I can.
I am there in the call, right? Still?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the basic settings. Then you have another option called my background image. This black, dark red colored image that you're seeing in the background, you can do all the changes over here. But remember, all these things that you do in personalize will be applicable only to your user ID. It will not be applicable to the larger group. Okay, as an administrator, whatever changes you want to do, you should do in the adapt window. It says enter adaptation mode, right? I just click on that. Okay, before that I'll show the other two options here. Company settings. As an administrator, you log in, and what is the default client that you want to give to the particular users? You want to give Silverlight client or HTML client. You will have this adapt feature only for administrator roles, okay? Not for your roles that you log in with. Okay, then what is this auto log off? After 30 minutes or after 15 minutes, you want to log off automatically. And what is Shankar? Can you hear me? Oh, Sana's message is okay. Okay, and what is the theme that you want to use? There are different available themes here. See, this is one, gold reflection. Another one is the skyline theme. So these are two themes that are available, and these are general settings. Okay, if I put this checkbox, then even this personalized window will go up for all the users. Okay, this is one important thing which administrator will keep on changing. What is the preferred client for the tenant for all the users, whether they want a HTML tenant or Silverlight tenant as a by default, that should be visible here. Okay, now we go to the main enter adaptation mode. Shankar, I think Sana is trying to message you something.
Okay, anyway, Venkat, here on the personalization side,
Yeah.
obviously, once you have done all the personalization towards the business
Okay.
user, and once you have changes done anything on the business role, will it get replaced all these personalizations, or will it be the same? Normally in
Okay.
SAP CRM, we have a major issues regarding personalizations.
Correct. I'll tell you. See, when as a user you log in and you do some personalization changes, that is applicable only to your user ID, right? Now, if suppose for example you have logged in and you are trying to personalize, I'll show you. I'll directly show you. Okay, I'm in this settings. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. Now I'm in the account screen. Okay. I go and I do personalization. See, what all fields are visible on the table, they have been checkboxed here, right? Now, say for example, I add this type also. The type gets displayed here as a column. Okay. Now you save this. The moment you save it for your user ID, whenever you come to the accounts screen and you see, you will have this type column displayed. But as an administrator, if I log in and I go to the same screen and I remove this type, as an administrator, I remove the type checkbox and I publish the changes, then all the changes that you have done on that screen will get wiped off.
So it is nothing to do with the business role configuration.
Business role configuration, what do? You only enable what views should be visible and what are the read or the write privileges. You do not tell in business role configuration what fields should be visible in the screen, what columns should be visible, left hand or right hand, and all those details. You don't do that, right?
Yeah, okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
I have just added this type now and I save this. Okay.
Venkat, just 1 minute, okay?
Yes, Tana.
Shankar, can you please make me organizer? Just right click on my name and make me organizer. Right click on my name, Shankar. Can you see Sana? Thank you, Venkat. You can carry on.
Okay. Okay. So now I have added this particular field column called type. Now, if an administrator logs in and he does adaptation and remove this particular type field, then it will be wiping off all the changes that you have done. So the administrator changes carry more privileges. Okay. Is it clear, Shankar, your question? Yes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So now I'll go to the adapt mode and I'll show you. Similarly, we can open any customer and we can do changes in that also. See, over here, this is this generic customer details. Again, I can go to personalize and I can say personalize the screen. Now what happens is the moment I place my mouse over here, you can see the complete look and feel of this thing has changed, right? Now I go to say, now this is the, on the left side, this customer, this block is called as the header block. Okay. So for that, scroll down and double click on header block. So whatever fields are visible here have been selected in this checkbox. Yes. Now say for example,
page view, right?
This is kind of page view, yes.
So if we have any custom fields, you will see those custom fields as well here.
Yes, if you have defined any custom fields, you can define the custom fields also over here. In personalize,
in a separate class, right, Venkat?
Sorry?
You'll cover that in a separate class, you said.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now only.
Okay.
See, in personalization, you cannot do add creation of new fields and all. You can only hide some fields. You can only add the available fields and all those details. But for you to create new fields and all, as an administrator, you should go to adapt mode. Then go to enter adaptation mode. This is where it will allow you to create new fields.
Only the personalization is also used for search functionality, isn't it? Can we control the search results and all these?
You see, you can only control what columns you don't want in a table or what columns you want in a table. At an account level or at a product level, you don't want some fields to be displayed, or you want fields to be displayed explicitly.
And this
so
is
those
for all
changes
search
are permitted.
functionalities as well.
It's in every search, is anything. You can personalize any page as per your
In terms
choice.
of the search result, can we control like number of search results like 200, 100?
No. That functionality is not there.
Okay.
Now, since I have logged into the application as an administrator, now I'm getting into the adaptation mode. On the top itself, you're seeing, right? Adaptation mode. Right?
When you go on adaptation mode, it's not asking for service transport request.
No, there is no concept called transport request in c4c.
Okay.
I'll show you how it gets published. I'll show you. Let it get opened up. I'll show you. One minute. It's a little pretty slow.
In the adaptation mode, basically you're trying to control personalization view, right?
I'm trying to control personalization done by individual users, and yes, I have the complete control to change the labels of the field or hide the fields permanently or enable the fields permanently. All that I have the control in adaptation mode.
So that will be applicable for any user, each user, or for everybody, or what?
It is going to be applicable for all the users.
And you told that it can this activity will be done in private tenant only, or it will be for?
No, it can be done in public tenant also. It is there in public tenant as well.
So it is applicable to only to your organization,
yes,
right?
Yes. It will be applicable to this particular tenant ID. You are seeing the browser, right? 306659. So
Yeah.
it will be applicable only to this particular ID. Okay. Now, what I have done under adapt, I clicked on enter adaptation mode, and then I got this screen wherein on the top it shows I'm in the adaptation mode, and then I click on edit screen. Whichever screen you want to edit, go to the screen and click on edit screen. Okay.
But Venkat, for example, this activity you're going to do in the your development environment,
Okay.
C4C, then you have to move this all these changes to production, right?
if you remember, I told you whatever configuration changes you do in your test tenant, your UAT or your SIT or your any kind of testing is going to happen in that tenant only. Once
Oh,
all the testing has signed off, all you have to do is just intimate SAP and they will create a replica of this tenant as a production tenant.
yeah, got it, got it. Yeah, thanks, Venkat.
There is no TR, there is no transport request at all in C4C. Okay. Now see over here, what is the different views that are different tabs you are seeing? You have so many tabs, right? You have so many tabs for a customer, correct? So why are these tabs visible to you? Because all those tabs have been highlighted here. I just click on these tabs. See, all these tabs are highlighted here. You're able to see this?
Yes.
You're seeing the first tab as overview, that is highlighted here. The next tab is sales data, that is highlighted here. If I remove the sales data, then the sales data will be gone. You're seeing that?
Well, you have to publish
Yeah.
that, isn't it?
No. You first do the changes, then you save it, and then you go for publish.
To replicate everywhere.
See, the hint itself suggests publishes your changes and makes them visible to all users. Okay. So now so are you clear on how to add tabs and how to hide the tabs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll show you at a particular field level. Say this information on the extreme left side is called the header information, right? So I go to the header tab. Here is my header tab. Okay. Then I scroll down and whatever information is there, see my status field is checked. So I'm seeing status. My name is checked. Then prospect field is also checked here. Role is checked. Address is checked. If I suppose I hide this address checkbox, my address on the header data is gone. Do you realize this?
Yeah.
You're seeing that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, this particular field, address, or this particular role, whether you want to make it read-only or mandatory, you can do that here. Okay.
More
If
like
you
a UI
want to,
configuration.
yes, that is what is the topic itself, UI enhancements or do UI changes. Now, I want to add any new field. I click on extension field and then I can add a field. See,
So
I can add a field here, but this field will be visible in account team. I want the field to be visible in header data. So I click on this and this is already a field that has been added. Account brand interest. It is, if I checkbox this mark, then it will be only a display field. Okay, let's go with a new field. In account general information, what is the type? You want to have amount entered into it or an indicator with a checkbox, something like that. Say I want to enter, say just text. do you want to give a default value, whether you want to give the value based on any other fields. This is what is the field label you want to give. So all the details you enter here and then you save it. So in that case, what happens is the field will get displayed like this, and then you make the field visible.
Field
That
length
particular
is
field.
not given.
Sorry,
The field length.
what is that text limit that you want to enter? Is it?
Something like that.
There is no limit. You can enter any free text that you want.
Okay. Sometimes if we are defining the number decimal, something like that, we should be able to define the length of the.
I think it should come with a number. Let's check that. Say I said decimal number. See, field length, then decimal places, then what's the default value, what is the label, and all those things.
More like a data types.
Yes, the field type is a data type only for you. Okay. If I give an email address, what is the default value, what is the field label, and what is the technical name?
Normally in CRM, the technical name gets generated automatically, isn't it?
Here you do it manually. I think even here you enter the label and it gets picked up. I'm not sure. Yes, it gets picked up like that. Correct. Okay. This way you add the new fields, or you do any changes to the labels of the existing fields, whatever changes you want to, and then you just save it and then you publish it. Without publishing, if you just save and leave the screen, it will not be applicable to all the users. Is it clear?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of them are not titled in the header, revenue, item summary. If you go up, some of them do not have it. Yeah, on the tabs.
I'm in the header. I'm in the header.
Go back for me. Yeah, over there. Can you see the address list? Next to the address list, the title is not displayed. Why is that, sir? Yeah.
Where title is not?
That's it.
You mean here?
There is no name for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they are the blank work centers which are coming up in development. They are being just added up.
So we can have a Z.
Just 1 second. Anyways, leave it. Yeah, tell me.
We can add Z tab here.
You can add a work center also. Yes, you can do that. What you do is you just click on this tabs, okay, and then you click on this add.
Okay, that adds.
That will make you to add a new tab itself.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Venkat, discard changes will be effective only for that screen, or it will be for what? How discard works?
Discard will be applicable before you publish. Once you publish, discard will not be working anymore.
Discard will be like whatever change for everything.
No, I'll tell you. My account screen or my customer screen has been displayed. Okay, it is already working. It is fine. I have done some 10 changes, but then I realized that I should not have done a few of them. So if I have not published those changes, then I can discard. If I discard, the screen will be rolled back to the last published stage.
I mean to say, for every small change, like for example, we have done 10 changes, and when we done the first change, second change, then we should publish it, then again go back, then again make the third change in order for it to not.
It is your call. It is your call. Say for example, I have to do 10 changes, and all those 10 changes are confirmed. I have to do them. Then I can do all the 10 changes one by one, and then publish it once. But what happens is, suppose you have done 5 changes, you have published it. Then you started doing the 6th change onwards. Due to some reasons, you realize that you should not have done any changes at all. in that case, you will not be able to roll back the changes 1 to 5 because you already published them. To put it in simple words, discard will not roll back the changes if the changes have already been published.
Yeah, got it, Venkat.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
So this is how you do a personalization or an adaptation to change the UI fields and all at the front end as an administrator. Okay, now as an administrator, we can also do some changes in the HTML variant. I'll show that to you. Wait, let me close this first. Okay. Say for example, I open the product screen just to showcase. Okay. I open some random product. So I want to do changes to this screen now. I want to do changes in the header level data over here. In this case, what I can do is I can go to edit. If you remember, what would we do in Silverlight client? We clicked on adapt button, then we said enter adaptation mode, right? And then we said edit the screen. Do you want me to show that again to you? I'll show you. I'm trying to show you the difference between the two, okay? You remember we first pressed enter adaptation mode over here?
Yes.
And then we clicked on edit screen, and that is where we did all the configuration, all the UI changes. In HTML, you don't have like that. There is nothing called as enter adaptation mode. You just click on edit master layout. The moment you click on edit master layout, even then you see this changes will be applied for all the users. You're getting this?
What is exactly the difference
Now,
between these two?
The difference is the kind of changes that you can do in a Silverlight client is more robust, but it is less user friendly. The kind of changes that you can do in HTML client is more user friendly but less robust. It will not allow you to add new tabs. It will not allow you to add new fields, all those things. But in Silverlight, you can do all that.
So what is the point of having this HTML then?
HTML is basically, see, why am I getting adapt mode here? Because I have logged in as an administrator.
That is why. Okay.
Now, if you try to log in with your user ID password, this adapt option will not be seen at all for you.
Because I don't have an administrator role.
Exactly. Only with administrator role, this adapt button will be visible, and you have the option to do changes in the HTML variant also. But any changes to UI, always recommended that go to Silverlight client. I'm just showing you for knowledge purpose. That's it. Okay. Now I have clicked on that edit master layout, and you see I just place my mouse on any one field. Then this particular option, first one, change properties. It will show me the properties. It is only visible or you don't want to make it visible. Okay. Similarly, again I place my mouse on that. I click on this edit. I can change the label of that particular field. Now it is showing ID. If I want, I can say product ID. You can change the label like this. Okay. If I don't want this field to be displayed, I just click on this cross. This field will not be displayed at all.
this kind of configuration is not available on Silverlight.
This kind of this at a field level, you're getting a small pop-up and more
Yeah,
user
it's not
friendly
there.
is not available in Silverlight.
Yes.
As I told you, Silverlight client is not user friendly, but it is more robust. But HTML is less robust, but it is very friendly. Okay, I can add new fields by this. Add new fields. See, these are the left out fields that have not been added to the view. I can just select them and I can say add. It will add the new field. If you want to add a new field that is not there in C4C at all, then you have to click on this button, new field. If you click on this button, it will display all the things that you did in Silverlight client about creating a new field. See, it is going to be in material general information. What is the label? Based on this label, the technical name gets automatically updated. What is the data type? You want a text or you want an email or account or whatever it is. All that we saw in Silverlight client is there in HTML also, but it is in this option, in this view. Understanding things, is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
In any questions on UI enhancements, how do you do that in Silverlight client? How do you do that in HTML client and all that?
Can you show me the from Silverlight you went to that page view once again?
Okay, I am in Silverlight here. Tell me.
The page view.
Okay, I say edit screen. Yes, we are there.
No, I think it's okay. Fine. I was thinking something else.
No, tell me what's your question. Because
No,
this changes or this functionality, to be honest, you will not be able to do in your login IDs. As you know,
Yes.
it is not an administrator IDs. So if you want to know anything, you can ask me now. We are in that session only.
But at least we can figure it out from the personalization, isn't it?
Yes, from the personalization, you can figure it out. You have that option.
Yeah.
I would suggest that go and do personalization, click on the edit master layout and try to do some changes on the UI screen in terms of adding the hidden fields or removing the displayed fields. All that at least you can do. That will be only to, again, if Shankar does it, that will have an impact on Ram's visibility. If Ram does, that may have an impact on some other visibility because we all are using the same user ID password.
Yeah. What is the password? I forgot the password.
Even I don't regret. I told you last week. Shankar, you know what's the password? Somebody is messaging.
Capital T training 123.
I'll just type it for the benefit of all.
Okay.
Training one. So this is the password.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Fair enough. Any questions on this as of now? Any questions as of now?
No, actually, I'm fine.
Okay. If all are fine, then we'll close the class for now and we'll take up the workflows and notifications on important topic tomorrow. And I will theoretically explain you on C4C integration to ECC. I cannot show that in the system here because I myself don't have access to those other systems. Theoretically, I'll show you how to do that.
What were you supposed to cover in last Sunday class?
Last Sunday, we were supposed to take up service scenarios only, right?
Or was it Sunday? Okay. So you said you're going to cover.
What did you actually? Actually, what I thought was, if we were to cover service scenario last Sunday, today we would have taken up that workflows and notifications, and tomorrow's session would have been completely a doubt session. But because of some personal reasons, I was not able to take the class last Sunday.
We do
So
not
we are
have
left out with
complete doubt sessions.
tomorrow we'll have workflows and notifications. If you want a separate doubt session, we'll have one on next Saturday.
I think maybe
a good idea, Venkat.
Yeah, we should have probably one long session.
Okay, then we'll do one thing. We'll have this workflows and notifications tomorrow, and we'll have the doubt session next Saturday. Fair enough, no problem. Actually, I was supposed to complete this training by tomorrow, but then I was not available for one day, so it got slipped over to next week also. We'll do it, no problem.
So are you done for the day?
I'm done for the day.
So what exactly your experience perspective, have you covered most of the important topics that we should be learning?
See, if you take up a conventional on-premise CRM training, what will be given on training is the complete base customization, which is CR100
I'm not going to
document.
compare with that. Your experience perspective, obviously you are already in the project.
I would say,
let me.
I'm coming. Yeah.
Okay. What activities that you may have already been performed so far in terms of configuration or in terms of technically, in terms of the mapping the requirement to c4c functionality, how you think whatever you have covered would be enough or would has given us enough knowledge for us?
I would say the conceptually we have covered all the topics of C4C. Okay. But if we start theoretically, practically working on the system, we might have covered only 70%. Rest 30% we will be able to do only when we start working on those particular objects. But conceptually, if you ask me, yes, we have covered all the topics of C4C except for those two topics which we'll be covering tomorrow.
And also one more request, if you could really show me or show us exactly one of your business requirement and how you have really carried out the full activity. For example, the service request configuration towards the business requirement. What were the
to put it in simple words,
like it
you are asking me the blueprint document.
Yeah, I did ask this earlier as well. Just wanted to find out, how you may have carried out your activity, maybe some kind of a config document that you may have done probably.
Config document, see, point is these documents are in my company's repository. I'm not sure if I can share those details with you.
Yeah, maybe you could show us what sort of next activity, as you have already showed us.
I'll try to do something and I'll try to share them. Honestly to say, only when you have the config document.
To work on like a hands-on experience, obviously we are pretty much new. Myself, I'm a bit of scared of coming into the market. And obviously, there's no much potential or much. There would be probably potential, but as of now, the market is pretty laid down for the CRM systems.
Right.
We should really have a more confident. We should know what we are really talking, and I should know what my approach will be.
What scenario? No, what situation you are in today? I was also in the same situation when I was entering my first project on C4C.
No, it could be same for me in entering the CRM as well. Well, one day we have to get into this position anyway. So
correct. I'll try to share. I'll try to remove some confidential data and the rest of the documents, at least config and the blueprint document, I'll try to share with you all, so that all can have a look on that.
It gives us a massive confidence, Venkat. In fact, we know what we would be talking in terms of the interview or in terms of the certification. We know the clear picture of the business cases and business scenarios. So at least we know what needs to be done in terms of the settings that we have to do on C4C would make a big difference.
Sure. I understood your point. I'll try to share that. Though it is little confidential data, I'll try to share it out somehow.
Thank you.
Just Venkat, to add to points to the Shankar what he has just now mentioned. Basically, very high level brief, Venkat, because just to what exactly you have started is like blueprinting and then how it's ending from end to end. So just within very high level brief, we are not asking more details because we got an experienced faculty who already worked with this environment. So it will be easy for us to get those knowledge transferred to us.
So you want me to tell you like how I handled my blueprinting and all, is it?
It's just like something small scenario, like and how you have done the scoping, what things it came into your mind, and how you have those type of things.
Okay, sure. We'll discuss that tomorrow itself then. What kind of scenarios I were given, what happened, how did we do that, how did we map it in C4C, all that I'll show tomorrow itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Shall we close this call for today?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Venkat, quick one. You know, in CRM we have like service profile management or service category management, where we have a plenty of activities that we can really do in terms of the categorization modeler or whatever it is. Yeah, assigning
Those things are
not
you are
at all
referring to
available.
subject profiles and all those things, right?
Exactly, the component assignment.
No,
We can modify
they are not there.
components.
All that
We
is
can
not
manage the
there.
business rules there as well. All these can be done, which is not at all available in C4C.
Yes, it's not at all in C4C.
And hopefully we should have some in the future releases. Yeah.
At least subject profile, rule modeler, and category modeler, we don't see till August 2016. Maybe in November, if it comes, it will be good. But in May and August, there is nothing coming up on service except for service orders.
Okay, I mean, I believe that is one of the best functionality of SAP CRM side in towards the service request or service request.
Correct, but it is still growing. C4C, they're still enhancing it. So
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
take some time.
Okay.
It will take. Their primary focus is on sales scenarios.
So, well,
not
at the
on
end of the day,
service
we
and
can't even
marketing.
create a service orders. I don't
No,
see where the
you
implementation of
can't even
service
create a
request.
service order also. It's only a service. It is, as of now, it will cater the needs of a call center. That's it.
Which is more like a
Basic call center.
ticketing.
Yes, completely ticketing. Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll close the call tomorrow, same time, 2:30. We'll connect again and we'll complete it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.